A rear pivoting system on an MS chassis. A rear pivoting system on an MS chassis. A rear pivoting system on an MS chassis. A rear pivoting system on a VZ chassis. I'm going to show you how to build your very own rear pivoting system on a VZ chassis. Let's take a look. Here are the minimum parts that you'll need to create your rear pivot. So, you'll need a front plate like this. You'll also need a second front plate where you'll create a part that looks like this. Now, once you've created a fair number of AT front bumpers like this, you'll be able to chop off the pieces for the AT front bumper, and you'll have a remaining part that looks like this. You'll need a rear plate that looks like this. This is an FRP plate. You'll need a rear carbon plate that looks like this. It's a tail carbon plate. And you'll also need a mushroom cap and a mass damper carbon plate in which you'll drill a hole that looks like this. And you can get this part right here. You can either get it in carbon form, you can also get it in FRP form, so pretty cool. So the mushroom cap, you're going to be getting it from something like a starter pack, for example, and you'll shave off the little notch that is at the end so that it's flush, just like you see here. So we're going to be taking a look at what you need to do to these plates to make them good for the rear pivot. So we're using 13mm rollers. So basically we want to Dremel off the ends here. So we don't need that 9mm hole. So every part that I'm coloring in silver, we're going to be dremeling off, removing that part. Also, we just need this shape here. So I'm going to be marking it like so. Anything beyond that, anything that's here, we're going to be dremeling off or cutting off. We also don't need these little tails right here on the rear brake plate. Now, we can trim this so that it's a little more narrow rather than wide. It's your choice here. It depends on what your application is. Some tracks will need a longer rear brake plate, others will need something that's a little shorter. Here, as we see the front plate, we shaved off the ends so that the 9mm holes aren't present. We also rounded out the edges of this spare part that was also made from a front plate. We took the brake plate and we shaved off the sides, and that back plate, the FRP, we shaved off the ends like this to make this a U shape. So we're going to be taking a file and completing the rest of this. So we just want to make sure that everything is flush on here. So here I'm just filing, making this flatter on the edges. It's a little bit boring work, but I'll show it to you. It's not as fun or as quick as using a Dremel, but you'll be able to control what our edges look like. So you have to be careful about shaving down FRP plates because that fiberglass dust is a killer. So you want to make sure that you don't breathe it in. Make sure that you're in a well-ventilated space. If you're wondering what kind of file I'm using a regular nail file, which is a 100 by 180, and you can get a whole bunch of these for really, really inexpensive. I think they end up being less than $1 for a stick. One last thing is we need to use a drill to drill a hole where the J is, right here, and that will be for our supporting screw. But the screw will go through the mushroom cap, out the other side with a spring, and then this supporting plate, which I call it a strut bar, but some people might call this something else. So this is going to be placed on top of the rear, as you see here, to support the screw. So there you have two examples of that. And yeah, basically you want to have a strong, stable, solid structure so that your pivot will happen along that axis. So that's what we need this plate for. And the bottom of the mushroom rests on this mass damper carbon plate. Yes. And you can use an FRP for this, but it's not going to be as strong. So you want to try to use carbon for this. Next step is assembling all of this together. You want to continuously drill this hole so that it becomes very, very loose, this hole. This hole should allow the screw to slide freely inside it. We created a notch on our front plate, the center being where the J is. And now we can align the holes on here like so, and it should be able to swivel just a little bit and also fit the mushroom cap that's right here. Okay, the assembled rear plate. Pretty cool. I think a little bit of dremeling on the edges here will make it smoother. But otherwise, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. There you go. And we just need 13mm rollers in the ends. Now the final part is the brake plate. So the brake plate can be attached like so. Countersunk screws right here. And we can attach our brake right here. Now again, you can shorten this so that this will adjust to whatever track you want it to adjust to. So you can have longer or shorter brake plates for that purpose. I suggest having several on hand so that you could swap out the brake plates in case you need something that needs a long tail versus a short tail. You saw it here first. Basically, we have this. This is a brake plate on the end with a brake, 1mm brake. And we don't even need a tail damper at this point. But I have these things right here just in case we need dampers on the brake plate. And also, for consistency's sake, we'll try to fabricate a tail damper right here. Yes, so that's how you create a rear pivoting system on a VZ chassis. They said it couldn't be done, but it really can. You just need a little bit of ingenuity. Yes! So if you like this video, everybody, please slam the like button and subscribe to my channel. You'll see more videos just like this one. Until next time, everybody, see you. Bye.